Hi, this is Chester Tan from Music Photo Live. Today in this open mic session, I'm going to share with you what happened last week as I attended an Audio-Technica Vinyl Listening Party. So if you have followed my blog or Instagram, you would have known that I actually attended this vinyl listening party organized by Audio-Technica Singapore. So it was held at Funan IT Mall and the Tree of Life retail shop. I started my vinyl collection in 2021 in January. In fact, I don't know. I just so happened, at the cross of the year, I just realized that let me just try out vinyl and see where my journey goes. And I was very fortunate that when I reached out to Audio-Technica, they were very supportive, and they sent me several of their products for review. I can share some of the link with you, and you can go and read all about it. So during the vinyl turntable listening party, of course the organizer shared with us the differences between vinyl and digital, and he pointed out a few important things actually. As far as my research goes, the fact is that the vinyl sound quality, right, it's not about being better than digital, right? It's really about how different it sounds, the whole balance, the whole dynamics, the whole interpretation and the presentation of the sound that makes the difference, right? If you're talking about fidelity, talking about clarity, and you talk about what really matters, right? I mean, digital is undisputed because the bits and the details are all accurate, right, to the zeros and ones. But sometimes you ask yourself, is that really what you're looking for, right? So that's what vinyls and turntables give you, a different experience of enjoying music. So it's really about the difference between you playing a live concert CD at home versus you going to the live concert and experiencing it yourself, right? The fact is, when you play the CD, it sounds so much better because of the clarity. The instruments all recorded nicely into the 24 track or 48 track recording. But when you go to the concert, you're blasted by those awful PA speakers. To me, it's really awful because it's just totally lack of balance. It's probably a very heavy bass, bright treble, and then all the mid range. All the little instruments there are all just lost. But the experience is different, right? The emotions of connecting with the performers live is different, and that's what make listening to vinyl that special, right? So you actually connect to the sound and the experience of putting it the vinyl onto the turntable and putting the needle down and then listening to it. Every time you listen to it, it may sound different because of the way the cartridge actually picks up the grooves, right? So, and then the way it projects, right? And using different cartridges, it creates a different sound. It's warmer, it's less harsh, to me, how I feel. So if you're in on the go outside, commuting in the MRT or the train or on the bus, it's so noisy. Can you really tell that minute difference between lossless file and a compressed file? You probably won't. You just want loud sounds to drown you from the ambient surrounding noises, and that's okay. You can listen to Spotify. But when you're at home, in a quiet environment, you feel like you want to connect to the musician, the performers, and that's where when you put the vinyl onto the turntable and play it and put on your headphones, you feel the difference, right? That's where you want to enjoy the real sound and the little reverbs, right? Or the breaths that you come from the singer. All these gives you goose pimples, and that's what vinyl will deliver to you. So during the vinyl listening party, the general manager of Audio-Technica, SK Teng, actually came and talked to me about their plans about the Audio-Technica 60th anniversary, which happens to be next year in 2022. He has shared some exciting news. Of course, I'm not able to share with you, but in time to come, I'm sure you hear of them. So they have great plans, which I'm very excited. Hopefully, I can share with you as they come along, when they are announced. Anyway, I as part of my vinyl journey, I reached out to them and say, I would like to try out a few other cartridges, and I would like to share the differences, right, on how they may sound different, right? And so I managed to get samples of the VM540ML. I have the VM95ML and the VM520EB. So, and then over the next few weeks and months, I will give a listen to them, and let's see how they actually sound to me, and I will give my honest interpretation of what it means to me. I myself is also a part of the, going through this vinyl journey, and for me, I don't consider myself as an audiophile, right? I don't really want or need to go for the audio pinnacle. To me, audio is a journey, right? You start with something simple, you listen to it, you ask yourself, are you happy with it, right? If you're happy with it, stick with it. And if you feel that I want to improve, I want to go a bit further, go on, right? And then after that stage, ask yourself, what do you want from then on? And you move on until you reach a stage where you're happy with it. And you could be happy for many years or decades until you feel that, okay, I want to move on again. And that was what happened to me. I was never one to say that, I just want to listen to vinyl because people say it's good, right? Or people say it's no good, right? I just come to a point where I say, okay, it's time for me now. I want to experience vinyl. And then I started off with a cheap turntable. Am I happy with it? I mean, by all means, if you're happy with it, stick with it. There's nothing wrong, right? But if you hear say, no, lots of music details are missing, then you know you need to get something better. That's where I move on. So right now, I think with these 3 cartridges, right, people will definitely say, yes, it's definitely a lot better. You spend $1,000 on a cartridge, it must sound better. Yes, but does it matter to you? Comparing $100 cartridge to a $1,000 cartridge, right? Can you experience that $900 joy? Can you get joy out of that $900 difference? You might not. And to me, I might not either until I try them. What I know is I'm also going through this journey with you, and I'm sure you yourself would be interested to know how this journey goes. There are many other reviews that clearly states that one of these are best, and I probably won't deny that. The question is, do you want to spend that money, or is the second best good enough? Additionally, I also ask SK whether there's any recommendations for Phono preamp. And surprise to me, he says that Audio-Technica do have a preamp, which is the AT-PEQ30. Right? Actually, a preamp may not be necessary for a lot of modern turntables because it has built-in preamp. Right? Obviously, everything that is built in, may not sound as good because it is a integrated component. Right? So if you think that you want to improve the sound, okay, then a separate preamp phono equalizer may do the job. So my challenge here to myself is, does it really give a lot of difference? And if there are, what kind of difference? Again, lots of blog reviews out there already state that yes, there is a difference, obviously. But my challenge is how much of a difference it is. Is it really so different that I really want it? Or I would rather go for convenience, right? So that is how I vision my vinyl journey to be, right? I do not want to just jump into $1,000 equipment and say, well, I've spent my money, it must be good, right? The fun thing is, as you go try new equipment, you compare, and then you realize what differences there are and what it matters to me. So similarly to you, I feel that it's really not about getting the best of the best of the best, right? But rather something that you enjoy, because audio is really subjective, and I do find that as I review the products over the years. I review hundreds of audio products on my blog, and I do not think that the manufacturers have an intent to make a lousy product. It was never so. They want to make a product that their target audience would like. So if their target audience is young kids who doesn't know anything about sound, they just like bass and treble, give it to them. If your target audience is about fidelity, is about clarity, right? It's about bringing out all the sound as faithful as they can. Neutral, flat, right? And of course, with a lot of tweaking to make the instrument more separated. Then that target audience is for you. So I'm very excited to go through this review and my experiences with you. Do follow me if you also like to find out how I'm doing. I have a blog at musicphotolife.com. I share quick bites over Instagram, and I post more lengthy videos on my YouTube channel. This is Chester Tan from Music Photo Life, and I'll see you soon.